Alright, what's going on, guys? This is Jake, and in this video I'm going to be walking you through how you can go ahead and create TikTok video ads. So this video is going to be broken up into three separate parts. So the first part, we're going to be discussing how you can go ahead and get ad ideas so you can get a little bit of inspiration to create your ads. Secondly, we're going to go over a bit of a template that you can go ahead and use to actually create your ads. And then lastly, we're actually going to create the ad, and I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and do that and give you an editor and everything to go ahead and use. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video by starting out with getting ad ideas. So in order to get some inspiration for creating your TikTok video ads, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is head over to Google and then search for TikTok Creative Center. And this is going to show up right here, and we're just going to click over to the Creative Center. And if you don't have an account, you're just going to want to create one really quick. It takes a couple of seconds. You just sign up with your email and go ahead and get started. And once we're here, what we're going to go ahead and do is come up here to the top right, and we're going to go to Campaign Inspiration and click on Top Ads Dashboard. And what this is actually going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to go ahead and browse some of the top performing ads on TikTok right now. So we can go ahead and see here by scrolling over these, we can see that this ad, for example, is optimized for traffic. And then we can see that these other ads here are optimized for app installs. This one's video views. This one down here is conversions. So we can go ahead and take a look at all of these different ads to see what ads are actually performing well on TikTok right now, and then we can try and duplicate and take inspiration from what's working right now to use in our own ads. And if we wanted to further filter this down, we can go ahead and sort this by different things. We could sort it by reach, CTR, or how many people have viewed it for these 6 seconds. We can also sort this by industry here. So if we're in a specific industry, we can go ahead and sort by that. So let's say we're an app, we could go ahead and take a look at just, let's say we are a productivity app. We can go ahead and search for ads that are just going for app installs inside of business and productivity. So we can see these would be the top performing ads. And another thing we can do here, if we go ahead and get rid of this, we can also just go ahead and sort by campaign objective. So we can see here we have app installs, conversions, lead gen, and reach. So if we're selling a product, we're typically going to be looking for conversions here. So we can go ahead and see what the top ads for here are over the last 30 days for conversions. And we could go ahead and just look through all of these different ads and try and get some inspiration from that. So I'm not going to go through different ads in this video because there's probably going to be a bunch of copyright stuff. But I would recommend spending a little bit of time on here, maybe 30 minutes or so, just looking through these different ads just to get an idea of what's performing well, so you can go ahead and take that inspiration and apply it to your own ad. All right, so now what I want to go ahead and do is just give you a couple of quick tips and give you a bit of a template that you can use and go ahead and apply when you're actually creating your video ads for TikTok. So the first thing is that you're typically going to be wanting to use user-generated content and or UGC, because custom content is going to perform a lot better nowadays, especially on platforms like TikTok. So what this means is that whatever product you're selling, if this isn't something that you have in-house, then you're going to want to go ahead and order the product, have it on hand, and be able to film some custom footage with it. And it doesn't really have to be anything crazy. The type of content you film is going to vary based on your actual template and structure for the ad, which we're going to go over in just a second. And filming the content, you don't have to film anything super crazy quality or anything like that, because you got to think that if it's going to look native on TikTok, most people are filming TikTok straight from their phone, so you can just go ahead and film the user-generated content straight from your phone as well. If you also have like customer testimonials or customer-created content that they have where customers are using your product or something like that, then you can go ahead and use that content for the ads as well. So any type of custom content is going to perform a lot better on TikTok. So now I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick template that you can go ahead and try and use when you're creating the actual copy and the structure of your ad. And once you've went ahead and you have like a structure in your head for the ad, then you're going to know what type of content you need to go ahead and film. So every ad is going to start out with a hook. So the hook can either be something like a question or a bold statement, but typically, whether it's a question or a statement, normally you're going to be highlighting some sort of problem that somebody has, or you're going to be highlighting a very special angle or something extremely unique or fascinating about your particular product. So regardless, the takeaway here is that the first slide of the ad always has to be something that's going to grab the user's attention. It's got to hook them in. So a lot of times it can be a question or a statement. Just remember that the majority of the time, depending on what your product is, you're going to be highlighting the problem that your product actually solves. So that's going to be the most common hook that you're going to see. So beyond the hook, you have the actual meat of the video. So this is going to be anywhere from maybe 2 to 5 different slides or scenes, and this is going to vary depending on how long you want your ad to be. Maybe if you want a short 15-second ad, this might only be 2 scenes, but if you want a longer ad, this might be anywhere from 3 to 5, and it depends on how much different stuff you're trying to showcase about your product as well. You could go ahead and take a look at what other people are doing in your niche to see how long you want to go ahead and make the ad. But normally within these middle slides here, one of the first ones will typically be you further emphasizing the actual problem that your product solves. So if you're selling some sort of like acne product, you could further emphasize the problem of having facial acne. And then typically after that, you're going to then showcase how your product actually helps. So showcase how your product solves the problem that you have been explaining here in the first couple of scenes of your video. And then also here in these middle scenes, you can showcase the main benefits of your products. Or if it's less of a problem solving product, you can showcase the exciting features of the product here and in this part of the ad. And then when you close out the ad here, it's going to always be closed out with a CTA, so a call to action, and this is where you're just going to direct viewers to your website to go ahead and make the purchase. So following this simple template here is going to ensure that all of your TikTok ads are going to be very organized, they're going to make sense, and they're going to flow very congruently, and they're going to convert pretty well. Now, if you want to make some customizations and adjustments to this, you can, but this is the baseline template that you can go ahead and use that should perform pretty well. So now let's go ahead and get into actually creating the ad itself. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into actually creating the ad itself. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to be using a site called invideo.io to go ahead and create our video ads. So if you click the first link in the description, you will be taken to invideo.io right here. And if you do use code CEC25 when selecting a plan, you can get 25% off all of their plans right here. So InVideo is going to be a great editor that you can go ahead and use to go ahead and create your video ads. It's really easy to use, so that's why we're going to be using it in this video. So once you go ahead and come to InVideo and you create a quick account, what we're going to go ahead and do here is we can choose from 3 options, from doing pre-made templates, text to video, or blank canvas. In this case, we're going to go ahead and start from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and click on blank canvas here, and then we just have to go ahead and choose which type of dimension we want to use. So since this is going to be for TikTok, we're going to be creating a vertical ad right here. So vertical 9:16, then we're going to click on make a video. All right, so once we're brought into the InVideo editor here, the first thing I want to go ahead and do is go ahead and just upload all of the media that we're going to be using for our video. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on this and do that now. All right, so I went ahead and uploaded a few clips right here. Uploaded 5 specific clips that we can go ahead and use for this video ad here. So this is where you just want to upload a bunch of clips and pictures that you want to go ahead and use for your ad. And what I'm first going to do here is I'm going to actually just come down here and delete this music for now, and we can add in music to the background later. And I'm going to delete this scene for now as well, and we're going to just start with a complete blank canvas here. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start out the video ad with the hook. So I'm going to add this particular clip in right here. So I'm going to click on add, and then what we can go ahead and do here is we can go ahead and trim this down to the exact portion of the video that we actually want to show. So I want to go ahead and cut out this initial part here, And we can go ahead and start it out, let's say right there, and we'll go ahead and stop it right there. So we'll go ahead and add this in right here. So we can see this is a short clip right here that we're going to go ahead and add in to act as our hook. So I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen here. And what we are essentially selling, if you haven't already noticed, in this example ad is going to be a deck of cards here. So what we're highlighting right here is going to be the initial problem is going to be crappy cards. So I'm going to go ahead now and head over here to text so we can add some text overlay to this initial media. So we're going to just go ahead, come in here and add a heading by clicking on this. And I'm going to go ahead and drag the text up to the top here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the first bit of copy right here. So are you tired of awful cards that bend and crease? So this is going to act as our hook. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go over up here to the fill color, and I'm going to drag the opacity up to 100% just so that way we can make our text a little bit more visible here. And I'm going to go ahead and just make the fill, let's say we make our fill red. If we want maybe like a darker red, you can go ahead and choose to match this to your branding colors if that's something you want to go ahead and do here. And then we can go ahead here and click on animations, and what I can go ahead and do is I can go ahead and give this an animation if I want it to show up in a specific way. So I can make it, let's say this text can go ahead and fade in. So if I were to go ahead and play, we can see that the text animation fades in right here. So are you tired of awful cards that bend and crease? And we can go ahead and extend this for the length of this entire clip. So we went ahead and created our first scene just like that. But let's say, for example, this first clip here is around 9 seconds long, and we don't want our hook to actually be that long, especially not our first one. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is double click on it, come up here to speed, and I'm going to speed it up to say 1.5. And as you can see, volume of the clip is going to be disabled, which is fine. We don't need volume in this anyway. And then I'm going to go ahead and match this right here and play it again. So we can see that now the clip's just playing a little bit faster, and what this is going to allow us to do is fit a little bit more in without it taking too long. So we don't want like the ad to be super long, and we want each clip to be 5-6 seconds. We don't want it to be too long because people have short attention spans, especially on TikTok. So now we're going to go ahead and add in one more pain point of the hook. So we're kind of into the meat of the template like we were talking earlier. So we're going to highlight the pain one more time. So I'm going to add in this clip here next, which is just going to be a clip of shuffling one of these crappy decks and showing that it is bent. So this is going to be about a 4-second clip. So we're going to go ahead and add that in. I'm going to drag it down to the bottom here to put it in the same row as this, just to make it simple. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do now is go ahead and add some more text. So we're going to add another heading in. I'm going to drag this one down here. We're going to go ahead and increase the size once again of this video to make it match the actual size of the 9:16 here. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in the copy. And I'm going to come in here to the fill color. Once again, make the opacity 100. Go to the project colors down here. Make it the same color right here. And I'm going to add in another animation of having it fade in. And let me just go ahead and capitalize this. And then we're going to make it the same length once again of this video here. So we can come in and then we can see it transition from this first clip here. Are you tired of cards that don't crease? Sick of ending up with curved cards after you shuffle? So showcasing two problems right here in one. So now we've went ahead and showcased our problem here in the first 10 seconds through 2 different clips, and now we're going to go ahead and start showcasing our actual product ourselves. So now we're going to go ahead and add in the first clip here of our product. So I'm going to go ahead and find a good clip of this to use right here initially. So in this case, I'm just going to showcase the actual deck of cards, and we will make it around 5 seconds. We'll make it around 4.5 seconds here. I'm going to go ahead and shrink down the editor a bit. I'm going to drag this down to throw it in here. And what we're going to go ahead and do now is click on this again, make sure we size it proportionally to the actual video right here. And once we've done that, we're going to just go ahead and add in our next heading. So we're going to go ahead and add in this heading right here. I'm going to line it up right there. And now we're going to go ahead and put in our next line of copy here where we're starting to talk about our product. So we are transitioning from talking about the problems that we are trying to solve with our product into showcasing our product itself. So once again, we're going to go through the same process here. I'm going to make the fill color background red, and if you want to play around with different stuff, you can go ahead and do that. You can choose different animations, you can make different colors if you want, but in this case I'm going to just keep it simple and keep all of the animations and the fills exactly the same here. So we can see that now we transition from the problem to showcasing our particular product right here. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is just add in a couple more clips. So we're going to go ahead and use that same video again, but we're going to add in a different clip. So this time we're going to add in a clip right here showing that the card doesn't crease or anything when you bend it. So we'll showcase this one for about 7 seconds. We'll drag it down to here in order, and we can see how easy this process actually is. So we're just going to come over here and do the same thing, size it for the video, and we can see how easy that this process actually is. As long as you have all of your clips and content to work with already, it's very easy to go through here and just drag them right in and then add in headings to each one. And then at the very end, we can add some background music, and then we'll be good to go. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing right here, drag this over, and I'm going to add in the copy for this one, paste it in, and we can see that most of this clip, the key point of the actual video here is on the top end. So we've been putting the text on the top end for the most part for the last 3 clips, but now we're going to put it on the bottom because we can see that the point of focus in this video is on the top end of the screen, so we don't want to block out the point of focus. So in this case, we're going to drag the text down here to the bottom instead. And once again, we're just going to give it the colors and animations that we want. Increase its length. And we can see the transition right over here to this one. Shrink this a little bit again so we have some more room to work with. And now what we're going to go ahead and do is add in another clip showcasing another different feature of our product, which in this particular case is that the cards are actually waterproof. So we're going to go ahead and upload a clip showing that the cards are waterproof here. So we're going to go ahead and start it there. We'll add in this 6-second clip right here, drag it down here. Go ahead and make it size our screen. So you can see that looks good. So now we're gonna go ahead and just add in the actual heading for this one right here by doing the same thing. So the point of focus is more so at the bottom now. So we're going to go ahead and put this heading text on top. So paste it in. And we can see that the creation process for a video ad is actually very simple. As long as you already have front-loaded pretty much all of the work by creating the template. So if you already know the template that you're trying to create, which you can just literally copy the template that I gave you earlier to go ahead and create ad copy to go ahead and use in your video. And then if you do that alongside just filming some content for the actual product, then you can go ahead and use that. And it's essentially just dragging and dropping everything here within video, because the video makes the actual ad creation part extremely easy. So we can go ahead and see here, it transitions right to this. And now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to add in something different. So we're going to showcase a couple of our variants here. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to add in just a static image here that's going to showcase all three of our variants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and upload a white backdrop really quickly. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this in. But I don't want to add it in there, so I'm going to go ahead and add it back here. I'm going to drag it down here to the bottom. And we are going to make it, let's see, 27 to 32. So we'll make this one pretty short. And we're going to just make this the entire background. So we're going to extend this to the whole thing. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is add in each of these images here of our products. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one in. I'm going to add the red one in. And then I'm going to add the gold one in. So we're going to go ahead and stack them all on top of each other right here. And then we're going to make them all the same length of around 4 seconds. Drag this over here so we can actually see what we're editing. So you can see right here we are showcasing that our deck comes in 3 different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and drag these down like this. And then I'm going to add in another heading to go on top of this. We're going to even it out. And then we're going to go ahead and put in the text here of decks come in 3 different colors. I'm going to drag it up here, and just so we can see it, I need to go ahead and change the fill color right now to give it this fill that we had before. And now we can go ahead and actually see what we are editing here. But in this particular case, I think for this background, it would probably look better if we don't do the fill. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is change the text color to the red instead, and I'm going to just get rid of the fill. And I think that looks a little bit better here. So we can see text come in 3 different colors. I'm going to make the text a bit bigger. And I'm going to go ahead and add the animation once again. So this showcases that our product has a couple different variations right here. So this is throwing in a little bit of variance to our ad. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is put in one more clip for the meat of the video. And then after that, we're going to make the CTA. And then we're going to be about done. So we're going to go to this clip once again, and this time we're just going to use the end of it. So we're going to go ahead and use the last 4.5 seconds of this clip. We're going to add it in, and we are going to drag it to the bottom here. Then we're going to go ahead and increase the video size like we have before. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the heading. Drag the heading down, put it on top of it, make it the same length. In this case, I'll go ahead and put this at the bottom. Put our copy in, add our fill and our animation. And in this case, actually, after watching the whole clip, I'll go ahead and put this on top instead. I think it will fit better up there. And one thing I want to do really quick is actually come back here. We can see that this clip actually shuts off pretty early, so we don't actually need the rest of this right here. So I'm going to go ahead and split this out right here. And I'm going to split this out right here, and then we can go ahead and just delete these right there. And then if we go ahead and go back, we can go ahead and take a look. And at this point, all we need to do is go ahead and add in our call to action here. So at this point, if you went ahead and had like maybe a screenshot of your website, you could go ahead and put that in here. Or if you had like a clip of you scrolling down your website, for example, on your mobile phone, like a screen recording of that or anything like that, you can go ahead and use that as the background. In this particular case, since I don't have a website for this particular product, I'm just going to use a blank background once again. I'm just going to add in the white background again. But I would recommend having something here on the end that's maybe like you scrolling down your website or anything in that regard, because it'll just add a little bit more flair to this actual last scene here. And then we're just going to go ahead and add in the last heading, which is going to be the call to action. So we're going to go ahead and put this in here, and I'm going to make the text color this red again. And I could potentially add in like another heading here as well. Could add in another heading here that just says swipe up. And then for this particular example here, you could go ahead and put in like a logo right here in the center. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and throw in a logo here. I can go ahead and just throw in the logo here for the YouTube channel and throw it right in the center. But in this particular case, obviously you would want to go ahead and put in your logo right here. And then we can see that just like that, if we go ahead and go back, we have the last transition into the call to action right here, which, like I said, would look better if this text was on top of like a video of you scrolling down your website or something. But we can see that by following the template, we've went ahead and created an entire ad. So now all we'd have to do is we can come over here and add some background music to it. So you can go and click on music here on the left, and you can kind of pick any type of music that you think will fit the theme of the actual ad that you're trying to create here. So in this case, let's say if I just opened up ambient, you can choose by genre here, and you can go ahead and just add in background music. So you can go through here and test out different music by just clicking on play on any of them in here, and then once you find one that you like, you can just go ahead and click add. And when you add, just make sure that you are at the beginning of your video, because you want to add the music to the very beginning of your video. So we can see that right here we're at 000, so we're adding it to the beginning of our video. So we're going to click on add, and we can see right here that it automatically matches the length of our actual video right here, so we don't have to do any cutting for that. So now we've went ahead and pretty much created the entire ad from scratch using the template that we took a look at earlier and some user generated content. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to just play through this entire ad really quickly. So we can see that now we have a pretty good looking ad, and in order to go ahead and download this, all we have to do is come up here to the top right and click on download, and we're going to just export it here in 1080p, and it's going to go ahead and start the download right here. So now we can see that the video here itself is rendering here at 21%. So once it completes rendering, we can go ahead and download it, and then we will be good to go. And then at that point, you just have to go ahead and upload the actual ad itself to your TikTok ads account, and you can start testing out the ad. So that's how you can go ahead and create TikTok video ads for your products. So be sure to check out InVideo by clicking the first link in the description, and you can use the code CEC25 to get 25% off any plans with InVideo. And if you did find this video helpful, be sure to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos, and I'll see you guys in another one.